Ladies and Germans, how you all doing? This is Con Over coming to you with more Company Fears 2 action. Up here in the northeast, it's an old friend with a new name. This is Kpen 97, Half-Sucked Mango. He is playing the blue-trunked Austria Wehrmacht forces, and we'll see immediately him throwing down an infantry company. Just a quick note right here, this is the new patch, so a new note for that patch. These pioneers got a rather significant buff. There was a lot of concern that their near and mid-range firepower was pretty garbage, and let's be fair, it kind of was. So now their accuracy for both near and mid has been buffed just a little bit. Let's see how that works out moving forward. What's he bringing for commanders, though? Well, he's got himself assault support, Jaeger infantry, and lightning war doctrine. So some three good, solid decisions here, although with a fair bit of investment in the late game, the chances are that we're going to see a Tiga. Now, high five, his opponent down here in the south is, of course, playing the United States forces. And this is not the first of the United States games we've seen on the new patch. But nevertheless, we are seeing a nice, I would say, tilt away from the meta. I don't know. It could be definitely interesting to see how far high five deviates from it. He's going to be bringing to the fray, though, Tac Support Company, Rifle Company, and Heavy Cav. So, three very consistent decisions here. Now, in the first engagement between Pioneers and Riflemen in cover, both of them in green cover, because the Pioneers are still not anywhere near as good as they should be in the kind of long-range engagement. High five opening up Trip Riflemen as the German MG-42 kind of dithers over to the east before redeploying to support its rather outnumbered troops. He's going to get down and set up right now because Grenadiers are getting forced away. And he's going to get one burst of fire off. He's going to question, though, is he going to be able to get another one off? Yes, he does. Not enough to pin them. Excuse me. But enough time has passed that will allow, I think, the Grenadiers to get up and over while they lose the fuel for right now. Kpen is able to probably re-seize it at his leisure. Machine gun facing the wrong way, clearly worried about traitors in his own ranks. And what do we have going on down here? Oh, just more wire in the standard position, kind of walling off this easternmost passage into the southern player's lands. Now, machine gun is facing the wrong direction, just barely, but he might be able to suppress that group. No, he doesn't. No, he does. There we go. So getting lucky there. While Grenadiers are forced to entertain Riflemen again at like green cover on both sides.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
The machine gun redeploying a little bit until more squads can come in behind to support the defense, and we are going to see the Americans getting thrown back in disarray. Two squads falling back, while only one for Kpen. High five doesn't seem to be too concerned about that, though, opening up with a fourth Rifleman. This, I think, is that newest squad right here. No, it's that guy, never mind. And definitely cutting in deep to cut off the German supply position. You're seeing a lot of very good active capping potential coming out from the USF player. Germans being forced to keep on their toes. They tried pushing down one time to the south and getting a very, very quick aborted gesture and leaving the eastern side of the map completely uncapped. Now, when does this grenade come in? Well, he's got battle phase 1 to do that, and he's finally taking up to that. So once he gets a chance to do that, it could be an excellent opportunity to throw down some rifle grenades if his opponent wasn't retreating already. Now, I do have to check, is this still, yep, this is 25 as well for the Wehrmacht. A quick note about the new Panzerfaust is that it's gotten cheaper overall, and that's probably a good thing for the Germans, since the light vehicles are quite devastating to the German infantry in the early to mid-game. Mortar coming out in the meantime for Kpen 97, which could be pretty good, I would think. And this volley fire, it might be able to suppress them, but for the time being, it looks like these Grenadiers don't care how much lead's being slung away. And there they go, they're able to throw back the rear echelons despite all their volley fire. I mean, any kind of rifle grenade happening here might be a good decision. No, not happening just yet. Well, it is happening, though. is the United States are going to retake the fuel up to the northwest, while I think the Germans are starting to take the one down to the southeast. In the meantime, though, we will see these grenadiers are going to be charged by this one squad of riflemen, but they're selling their lives dearly, taking out 2 riflemen already at the cost of 1 of their own. And the veterancy game is more or less equal, I would say. Time to run. There we go. And here comes an S-minefield. Wehr echelons don't have any investment right now into the hazard removal kits. That's a good thing right there for the Germans. Meanwhile, mortar team's going to reset itself and probably start dropping rounds into this fuel cap. Nope, never mind, the repositioning. And there's a hazard removal kit for the Americans, so this S-minefield is going to do nothing but just slow down the Americans for the time being. High Five finally taking it to Captain. A very, very slow Captain. 6 minutes in, excuse me. And it looks like the Germans will be able to seize... Yep, they seize the fuel point, but it's not going to avail them much. As with the hazard removal kit, they're going to be forced away rather quickly. Now, unfortunately for them, the mortar's not able to throw rounds down range and explode some of these mines. That'd be perfect. But, you know, it could be worse. It could be a heck of a lot worse. Kpen does seem often is not really in favor of using munitions such as rifle grenades. Although I would think under the circumstances it might be a good idea for him to use 1 or 2. And there goes one going out just now, not doing enough damage to really be worthwhile, so perhaps that's why he's not doing it. Mortar, in the meantime, able to now back up this machine gun, which is in a god house on the American side of the map. Bunker, in the meantime, put down for the Germans and upgraded to a medic station. Good decision right there. You can see right now he's been needing it horribly. As if the one lone grenadier is all by himself. Finally, I like the mechanized companies going out as well, which brings up into another patch change, is the new 222. People were concerned about the lack of really damage output that the 222 was allowing. Especially in comparison to, again, other light vehicles. So expecting the new 222 is going to be having a lot more in line to support a more active playstyle. A lot of quality of life changes happening right there. Mortar team getting any kind of damage? Nope, no damage. And right now the Americans swimming in fuel, as Kpen is just getting kicked around by High Five quite a bit. But occasionally we are seeing little motes of sunshine as the riflemen getting forced back consistently by aggressive engagements by both Grenadiers and Pioneers. But meanwhile in the north, however, we're going to see it's a 2-to-1 against these Grenadiers yet again. And 2 stars, or 2 1-stars, outplays 1 single star by himself. And good lord, though, we are seeing the Germans charging on force to take away this position. If they do so, the Allied supply position drops off quite a bit. And does seem like this machine gun is going to get away just barely. I don't know, those pack howards are doing some real work here, and I think we might see a dropped machine gun if the Germans are not careful. But no, he's going to barely get away, and allowing the Germans to continue pushing through and decapping positions like crazy. Look, for right now, 487 to 467 is going to be just a slight advantage to the Americans, as the Northern VP is going to fall to them imminently. Not going to be theirs for long, though. 222 is on the field. And between these 2 squads of Grenadiers and the 222, I would not relish the chance, so never mind. These riflemen are going to get cut to pieces. Oh my gosh, getting slaughtered. As up in the northern side, though, this 222 coming on in to put some firepower down towards those riflemen. This, by the way, is something you rarely ever see use, the infantry awareness. And as mortar's going to get forced back as well as the captain kind of prowls around. So the question might be, why do we have a pack howitzer as opposed to a mortar? Well, the mortar has gotten a little bit of a couple of nerfs here. Not huge ones necessarily, but they've lost some of their range. Which sounds like a massive, massive nerf. And they've lost that Vet 3 increase to auto attack range. But they've also lost a little bit of their cost as well. So while the mortar is kind of beaten back a little bit, it gives an opportunity for the pack howitzer to come into its own a little bit more, which is unfortunately something a piece of equipment we rarely seem to see these days. So no, for me anyway, I'm pretty happy to see the pack howitzer making an appearance. It used to be the pure meta of trip riflemen into that mortar, and then, God only helped the German play if you tried to play against that. Zook round falling short as machine gun is going to open up on the retreat path. And no, another rifleman squad's coming on in. The question is, they're going to throw down smoke? No, they're not. They could have, but they didn't. They should have, but they didn't. Rear echelon's getting cut apart here, but over here on the western side, it does look pretty negative for the Germans. They take the position, and then immediately another push comes on through. You see them throw them back. Riflemen doing pretty darn well, though. A couple of stars of veterancy here and there. Not going to do them very much under the circumstances, though, as the MG42 is going to need to back up. So now we have anti-tank guns on both sides. 57 mil for the Americans, Pack 40, of course, for the Germans. And the Americans have a slight position advantage over here, taking both the 50-yard line points until the Germans can push forward a little bit more. But that might be changing as we speak. We see one squad of Grenadiers charging on forwards bravely, another one moving forward again, trying to get over into this area right here. Not quite in the area to decap, though, just barely out of it. Rifle grenade dropping off, though. Question is, where's it going here? It's going long. We'll see where it goes. And animation canceled, never mind. But he's going to force back both of them with the help of that 222. It looks like the Germans might be able to take these positions after all, though unfortunately this territory right here is not going to go perfectly well. We are going to see, though, field first aid, which is kind of nice. 15 munis, which is going to keep the squad in the field just a little bit longer. And for 15 munis, not a bad idea, all things considered. In the meantime, though, a relative bit of calm falls across the field as another 222 comes onto the fray. And I think we're going to see some interesting builds in the next couple of weeks as people try to find the new metas. And won't that be kind of fun to check out? Grenadiers, though, going to do some work against these rear echelons as they charge across the open fray. And we could see a sandwich captain between a couple of positions here. Pack howitzer are going to throw rounds downrange. But, yep, there he goes. This guy's forced away. The captain's thrown back in a bloody, bloody mess. But it's not all coming up Millhouse. We are going to see these riflemen charging on forward, which means that the 222 had to back off or risk getting rifle needed like crazy. But it's not enough to keep them out for long. The machine gun's got excellent range fire and has got this entire area in the center part of the field covered. As this rear echelon's going to dive on by, going to pay the price, I would imagine, again. Well, they might. We'll see. There's one right there. Can the other one go down? The other one goes down. That's a big win for the Germans. K98's not able to pick up that last model death, though. Grenadiers will be able to take the center VP, and for the first time in about 5 minutes, the Germans will be the ones taking away tickets. As High 5 decides to go for that. What is that again? So that's the rifle company, excuse me. So the EC8s, the M2 Flamers, and a couple of infantry buffs here and there. As Battle Phase 2 is finally going to be the priority for Kpen 97, 15 minutes into this game. Neither player has been seemingly too concerned about teching up with any kind of alacrity. And you can't blame them. They want to explore the way that these new units do feel. 222 takes a hit from Mazook in the north. Center part of the field, though, hell, jeez. Here it comes. So High 5 throwing down Willie P. Barrage. And it's going to do crazy amounts of damage to this MG. You can see right now bleeding unto death. Going to start dropping models like crazy. Oh no, never mind, I forgot. It drops them down to 1 health, but it actually does not kill models. They're one of those curious things. Major's been called in for the Americans, though, and you do see that this guy's going to come under an intense amount of firepower. See the 222, so I'm surprised that no models have gone down just yet. And he makes it away, 50% health, but nobody actually technically dead. Almost as lucky as this machine gun right here. This guy's going to get tons and tons of health back. pretty darn quickly. As down in the south, we are... Oh no, we're going to see an Easy 8 coming out for the Americans pretty soon as well. Rifle grenade dropping just barely long, I would say, from where it needs to be for the American positions. And 15 minutes in, the Germans are the ones losing tickets yet again.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
Grenadier squad getting savaged. But it's now the Americans' turn to suffer a little bit. AT grenade does go out, but it takes brutal losses for it. You see 3 guys, Larry, Moe, and Curly, all dead right there. Is this a new cosmetic change? No, but I've never really taken a look at how beautiful that little like netting on the top of the 222 is. Kpen going for that assault support doctrine, which means he's going to be calling in an Opel Blitz truck. And this guy is definitely interesting. It's always kind of fun to check out. Question is, where is he setting himself up? Sitting right here might be not be a bad idea either. So giving him a little bit more resources would be a good plan. No, he's going to throw down right here. Giving him some more munitions and fuel. And I guess... Oh, no, never mind. Coming out of it. Kind of interesting to see where this guy goes. Yeah, he's not moving there at all. Munitions point, maybe?
The enemy is taking our territory.
No, he's not doing it right just yet, anyway. Meanwhile, the northern side of things, we are going to see Captain taking the fuel point away from the Germans. We're not going to take that line down, though. You can start to see that the models are already dropping from the Americans. As this Easy 8, though, begins to throw down, do some real damage against the German positions until his Pack 40 gets online. But with the damage done, the American forces do fall back. They were successfully able to decap the to decap the German fuel positions. And that is a win by itself, folks. Another Willie Pete barrage, so the machine gun again is going to come under intense scrutiny. As a rifleman again, decap the center position and then fall back. So very minimal gains being taken by the Americans. They're still up 2 tickets, which doesn't sound like a whole lot, but in this game right now, I can imagine anything could make or break this particular position for either player. Now looking at the later one here, we can see that there's a strafing run possible out for this Junker, as well as the fragmentation bombs, which are going to be great, pretty well, I would say, against a lot of infantry, but the rather intensive munitions abilities of Kpen's troops might remove any chance of that. Flammenwerfer going on to this Pioneer squad, though, so a 35 Flammenwerfer definitely in and ready to do damage. Now, let's take a look at the indirect fire weapons.
The capture point is being overrun.
I'm not sure where he's throwing rounds down. Oh, way the heck back there.
Just got cut off.
The Easy 8's moving on in. We're going to see a... Yep, there comes a Faust. Barely scratches the paint on that Sherman. And 2 squads of Grenadiers are going to book it back to base. While this Flammenwerfer Pioneer squad needs to run right now, and finally does so. We are going to see a P4 coming out for the Germans. Good final decision here. These 222s are trying to keep this captain entertained at long range. Wow, one more shot and be enough to take him out. But no, instead we're going to see the 57mm apply its deadly trade against the 222s. One more round might be enough. There goes one. As the P4 hits the field. Grenadiers facing off now against these riflemen. They have a slight numbers advantage for the riflemen, but that falls apart rather quickly. As this P4 is now on the fray. I never really used this particular thing, but it's always kind of fun.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Alrighty though, so we have also seen that BARs have been a call-in for High Fives troops. Not really going for any his own flamethrowers. The M2's not as damaging, I would say, to the German war machine as the converse is. And you can see just bursts of fire going down from everybody, but not a lot of damage at the end of the day. Easy 8 though is in the area, and we're going to see more Fausts. No, we're not. Instead, we're just going to see. He did. Wait, he did throw one down. Didn't he? He did. But like no damage happened out of that one. That's unfortunate. Meanwhile, in the north, we are going to see the Major facing off against these Pioneers, I would think. No. No, apparently he doesn't want to do that. Let's leave him alone as a sporting chance. A couple of mines going down for Kpen with tellers right here. It's a good idea. And his 222 might... Yep, there goes the Major. High 5 starting to group up his forces in the center part of the field here. He's pretty lucky that his opponent doesn't have the wherewithal to drop fragmentation bombs or even to throw down strafing runs. It's been pretty fantastic. P4 in the meantime coming in the middle part of the field trying to push the advantage that the Germans seem to be having here. But these guys are just dreadfully inaccurate. It seems so unfortunate. And rounds going down range trying to put some damage into the rear echelons before they can take out that mine. But unfortunately the mine is defused before an artificial explosion can set it off. Grenadiers moving in on top of these the captain's squad here, and these guys are already suppressed, and they're going to back away intelligently before they get cut to shreds. And Kpen, I think, is just going to stall out trying to get to that Tiga. And why shouldn't he? Especially when his troops take losses like that, he might as well just kind of hang out and just play for the long game. Other 222 went down in the meantime, guys. Forgive me for missing that one. That's from the 57 mil. It appears the other one charged forward too aggressively, went down probably to Zook shots. Another Easy 8 is coming onto the field, however, and in the northern side of the map, the Germans are losing their positions yet again. Going for the riflemen? Going for these riflemen. Nope, going for the near riflemen. 418 to 419, though, we're seeing pretty much bang-on even plays from both sides of the map. P4 is coming on in, trying to put rounds into these rifleman squads, but he manages to hit instead the walls of this cemetery, which is almost impressive. Rifleman, in the meantime, diving on forward, trying to decap in position, but these Flammenwerfer-armed Pioneers convince them otherwise. Now let's take a quick look at veterancy. A lot of the American forces are fairly vetted up for the time being. A lot of 2 stars here and there. No fully vetted up squads just yet, while the Germans have a couple of their own. Another note in the meantime, by the way, is that these P-Grants have gotten a buff in the most recent patch. There's a lot of concern that the P-Grants don't have a lot of staying power in the near to late game. Mid to late game, excuse me, because a lot of the opposing infantry has already been able to vet up for multiple minutes. To that end, they've gained a couple of buffs to the received accuracy, so that way it's a little harder for opposing units to hit them. Which I very much agree with that particular position. Pioneers in the meantime trying to throw down against these riflemen and cap at the same times. Going to be able to do so while High 5 is just wasting the fact that he's got a clear tank advantage, and he's got to know it. Tiga's going to cost 230? Yep, 230. So we have a long ways to go here. Could be less and less all the time, though. We are going to see Kpen slowly lumber his way towards being able to call in some of his abilities. But once again, it's the 180 for the fragmentation bombs and the 150 for the strafing run. He's got that right now. And the strafing run could be fantastic. And there it is. Where is... Okay, well... Machine guns happening, but yeah. Tank laughs at it, no real issue there. And no one's now capping this position, which I think is a dreadful mistake. Second pack being brought onto the field, though, and I think that'll be a good start to back off both of these Easy A's. Now, unfortunately, while Kpen was able to call in that airstrike, it wasn't going to be in any kind of great spot for it. Would have been kind of nice if he was able to throw it like right here and catch the outside portions of the U.S. base, but unfortunately that cannot happen here. Nearly all of the Axis infantry is being forced to back up, though. And getting hammered by all the enemy BAR fire. I wouldn't call it inherent of superiority, but there's definitely some superiority for the riflemen at this point in the game. But all right. What is the game state right now? With that Suka getting pulled off, we are going to see that Kpen is up just a few tickets here and there. Well, that lead will grow steadily. I can kind of, maybe that's the reason he brought it in. Interesting, we are going to see that Willie P. Barrage is just doing a good amount of damage over to that pack crew. Not quite able to throw him back 100%, but still pretty darn good. Captain charging on forwards here, trying to pressure this P4 back, but it's not going to happen too easily. I felt it's only one Zook against an entire monster like that. Charging rifleman trying to decrew something, it looks like. But against all that firepower there, I don't relish their chances. Indeed, high five, this might be one of the first mistakes he's made really all game. Charging one squad into the entire Balloon German army. Yeah, we got what? A machine gun and the P-Grens that are just by themselves, and everybody else is right in that one small spot right there. Kpen having a bit of a laugh about it himself. In the meantime, it has allowed the captain to re-seize the middle position, the middle VP. That's not going to last very long, and indeed, even the Major's going to push back in a bloody mess. One Garrison's going to buy it, though, and as the Easy 8s move on in, trying to pressure back the German attack, it looks like they're just, like I said, just waiting a little bit longer to bring in that giant metal god of war. Grenadier squad getting savaged in the meantime as P4 slides on forwards and tries to throw back the charging riflemen consistently.
Crowds are sniffing around our asses. Tactical point being captured.
Another smoke barrage going down. The question is, what's that coming from? Is that coming from the German mortar, is it? That'd be kind of silly. Nope, it was in fact the German mortar throwing the smoke barrage downrange. I guess it's to block off that 57mm. Both players using a lot of kind of indirect damaging abilities here. Smoke not so much, but it prevents damage from being done, I suppose. P-Gren's getting savaged by Rifleman getting forced back in turn. And very, very slowly are we creeping our way towards that magical 640 manpower. As the 20th minute of this game passes, we will see the Americans with the Wehr deficit against the Germans, down 10 tickets.
We're losing a capture point.
And interestingly enough, calling in an M10, M30 or M36, excuse me. Maybe Jackson, not a Wolverine.
A capture point is under attack.
And Kpen's got to realize they've got to be at the point now where he's calling in that Tiga tank as opposed to waiting too much longer before it is too late. On the western side of the map, we will see this MG42 is going to throw down and really be suppressing a good deal of the charging American infantry, but after a while, there's too much of it. And they are forced to retreat. So another player getting a whole lot done in this new particular meta match. P4 going to charge through the wire and try to chase down this Major. Doesn't quite work too well, though. And I would just turn out, if I were... Oh, jeez, dear God, this is going to be devastating. This Willie P. Barrage is going to just burninate everybody. Just watch the health bars just vanish here. Look at that. One squad of Grenadiers completely and totally masticated. Pack 40 savaged. Pack 40 damaged pretty hardcore. And where's that mortar team? Mortar hasn't even rushed out. That's actually surprising. P-Grind's moving in and behind, though, going to expose maybe the rear of this rifleman, but in the meantime, they're going to find themselves getting caught out and slaughtered. You see once anti-tank gun getting decrewed already. That's the power. Wow, the P-Grunts just got hammered as well, so they were in this building, and that got taken out by one concerted volley. But no, so one anti-tank gun completely removed. Tiga is on the field, and he can definitely go and upgrade that guy with his machine gun, but I can see him being a little bit cautious, Kpen that is. High five in the meantime, not really needing to push too much. Again, tickets are about even. Here's another smoke barrage coming down from the GR-434 mortar team. So Granatwerfer, I believe, is the Granatwerfer? Granatwerfer, I think. Going to be throwing out from that particular tube, though, and dropping an ability, I would say, to allow Germans to retake this position. But no. Instead, we are going to see a fighting position going down. There's an interesting decision.
The capture point is being overrun.
Are we going to see the rear echelons dive into here, too? Because that'd be kind of surprising.
Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements.
Well, it's just a machine gun going down for right now. These Easy 8s are trying to put fire out onto these enemy positions here. And no, it's going to be, in fact, another Stuka run. Let's get ourselves a nice little bit of a cinematic shot here. But no, instead the pack Howard's just going to get away. As will that anti-tank gun. Not easily, mind you, but it's going to get away, and that's the important thing I would suggest. Never mind, there goes the tank gun. He gets taken out. Decrewed at the absolute minimum. And as Tiga comes in to get rid of that, you can just see how explosive that shell was. Devastating everything within like a 30 or 40 meter range somehow. Shrapnel's going to kill you, man. Meanwhile, on the northern side, we will see this very sneaky major kind of trooping around. Not leading from the rear. He refuses just to be pushed around or a desk jockey. He's going to try to get in there and take out the German fuel control. I mean, even take out just the German victory point hold as well. Pioneers, in the meantime, they're going to get cut to pieces by a dual BAR push, which is pretty much why we're going to see this P4 readjust his position, trying to get first back here to throw down against the enemy major, but then on top of it to kind of clear the way, major vanishes in just a gout of earth.
They got wiped out.
I was going to say, trying to go and throw down against these riflemen as they charge on through. Able to do so, but taking a engine crit in the meantime, as his grenadiers to the south are going to duel with somebody within no particular cover, but they're out on the road in negative cover. It's not going to be brilliant for them at all. You can see that happening as we speak. These grenadiers most likely going to go down, caught out completely, as another squad is going to just kind of hang out and throw a rifle grenade, which does a decent amount of damage to the rear echelon troops, throwing them back to about 20%, 25% health. Another 50 cal going down, and going down way the heck down here on top of this southern VP and covering most of the fuel point as well. But I think Kpen's got a lot of what he needs to get done. Getting himself another P4, and once he's got that, his firepower is just going to be almost too much to handle. It'd be haunting at that point. Legitimately haunting. Tiga's going to throw rounds down range. He's not upgraded the machine gun on it just yet, which I think I kind of understand. It's not the best decision, perhaps. The anti-infantry capability does go down minimally. But considering what he could gain instead by throwing down an appropriate fragmentation run or something like that, I can understand why he's choosing differently. Tiga, in the meantime, going to take a couple of rounds incidentally from those Shermans, the Easy 8s, and a Willie Pete round from that Pack Howitzer, doing a lot of damage here. We are seeing Pioneers getting carved to pieces while they're trying to repair this Tiga tank. And somehow this rifle grenade doesn't manage to hit. There we go. Finally getting picked off, though. Though they have done a good amount of damage in return to the German counterparts, this machine gun is still open for the taking. And my question is whether or not these guys, they're charging forwards for it. They're going for it. Here's another Willie Pete barrage. Time to pull back if you are a German. Okay, never mind. Okay, so this squad here is going to get savaged by the burning ashes. This is going to get savaged. He's not looking too great either. He's going to take some damage right there. And High Five playing rather well with this rifle company. It would be better to see maybe usage of there's that flamethrower, maybe more Easy 8s as opposed to bringing the Jackson. But I guess he was afraid of that late game Tiga, and he was right. Because where is it? Well, that super kind of ACP ammunition can be rather good. 3 squads of Pioneers, though, are now the mobile repair troop for the Stiga tank. A 1 P4 over to the west. Another one still back in base? Yes, getting repaired. And Germans beginning to flirt with a legitimate push here. Not really putting a whole lot of actions together to really throw back the Americans, but doing, you know, a bit here, a bit there, kind of just frustrating the entire positioning. Pilot going up, the Germans don't like their fruit. Anana is not really their favorite style going on here. Grenadiers are going to get pushed back in a second, though, from these two easy 8s with the scary shark faces on them. My question kind of is, will we see an encirclement by the P4s? That'd be kind of fun. We are going to see a couple of anti-tank grenades being thrown at the P4. And yeah, it's going to do some engine damage right there. The Tiga's back on the field, which means it's time to back away. If you are an American, not good enough for you to be there.
Tank destroyer is ready for orders.
Another Jackson's coming out. So we have a lot of tanks in favor of the Americans. The question is, can things like Fausts make it even for the Germans? One Faust should be coming out right about now. No, instead it's going to be more anti-infantry gun runs. I'm not sure if Kpen realizes that it's not going to do a lot to these tanks.
The capture point is being overrun.
And the Tiga not doing the damage he needs to get done. Although 2 or 3 rounds will do more than fine into this Jackson. Not quite able to pick it up just yet, though. One P4 slicing on in as the Tiga takes tons and tons of damage. Jackson does go down. P4, in the meantime, getting rounds thrown down range with these easy 8s, and this gun line behind it supporting this retreating Tiga. And there goes one right there,
A medium tank was just lost.
leaving the Americans with just a bare 2 tanks against a Tiga heavily damaged and 2 heavily damaged P4s.
We're losing a capture.
One of these guns does go down already, though. It's going to get probably recruited pretty quickly by the Americans, should they desire it. The other one's going to get savaged just as quickly, I should think. And there's actually an effective... Wow, so the infantry actually doing something here. The infantry gun runs from that Stuka. Question is, will one more happen? No, he's not going to quite get that last one. And bravely, the Shermans are charging on forwards. There goes the Tiga tank. And that's... Could that be everything that they needed to have done? I don't know. There goes another P4 as well. So, question is now, this Jackson's probably going to go down. Pretty distinctly. One more round. There that goes. He has found, sort of, the Opel Blitz cargo truck, but he's not taking it out. And here's an opportunity, I think, for another... No, he's not. He's not throwing any sort of... Interesting. Not throwing any sort of Panzerfaust at him. Instead, just recruiting the machine gun and backing away. And unluckily getting taken out on retreat. Oh my gosh, these guys can be hammered if they don't retreat. Faust? No Faust? Okay. Strug being called in the meantime by Kpen. And I guess that sort of makes sense. While his Grenadier squads are getting just savaged like crazy. Time to have this mortar fall back as well. Retreat, my friend. Retreat. Repent. The time is nigh. 294 to 360. And as we enter the 39th minute of this game, I still don't know exactly who could win. High five really should be throwing down 2 or 3 more tanks. If he does that, I mean, good gosh, he could just end this right now. Another easy 8 coming onto the field. He could be affording a second one as I speak that. Yeah, pretty easily. Almost being able to afford a third one within another 2 or 3 minutes. But here comes that Strug. And I'm wondering if maybe Kpen should just canceled it and brought in a second Tiga. I've been pretty darn close, I will admit. But let's think about this for a second. So, adding 90, it's 220. Another, what, 15, 20 seconds? He would have had the manpower to do so pretty quickly as well. Instead, he has a, you know, not unfortunate, but not a particularly massive or very, very skilled tank force. 1 star and no stars whatsoever. And this tank is actually not even picked up his machine gun. He's got blitzkrieg tactics, which is kind of nice, but that's pretty much all he's got.
The capture point is under
And gets the Easy 8. Oh my gosh, the Easy 8 charging on forwards. We could be seeing a couple of Fausts here. Blitzkrieg tactics popped. 13 seconds of just massive mobility. But no, the damage has not been done. Instead, we're going to see this captured MG going to do some real damage against
We have a lieutenant reporting in for duty.
the charging Grenadiers. And this might be the beginning of the end for Kpen, as round impact here and there. And what the heck is this over here? Well, it's a BAR on the field. I didn't realize that the Americans had dropped that. Meanwhile, up in the north, Pioneers desperately trying to claw back against these riflemen. Might be able to do so, savaging them on retreat, but not doing a ton of damage. Like, doing some, but not necessarily enough. Again, Kpen, my friend... Okay, he's got 178 fuel. 175. Say, why are you trying to build another P4? Charging Easy 8 comes on in, though. P4 and Stug desperately trying to throw him back. Stug doing way more damage because of that increased barrel and higher velocity cannon, doing some real work there. And the charging lieutenant's coming on in, and the Pioneers cannot try to repair the P4, just take massive losses until they retreat. And all Grenadier squads are back in base. That just the consistent usage of Willie Pete barrages more than enough to compel them to retreat. And here comes another Willie Pete barrage, which means that this rifleman squad might take some friendly fire here. No, shockingly enough, looks like he's okay. He's going to take some, I think maybe some enemy mortar fire, but that's about it. Again, I'm continuing to say though, if Kpen holds on just to get himself another Tiga, another minute to go, he can call a Tiga in, and once the Tiga's here, he can just charge with wild abandon. As long as he doesn't lose to two recruit packs, and admittedly, 2 Easy 8s, he should be able to take this game. Though frankly, I would also like to see him get up to the fragmentation bombs too, so it'd be kind of nice.
Boys, you ready to roll out?
Super gutsy Ambo rushing to the front. High Five apparently not wanting his troops to suffer unduly, and yes, that's exactly what Kpen's going to be doing. He's just waiting the last bit of fuel, I think, the last little bit of manpower to bring in that next Tiga tank. Which is good, because apparently his P4 just cannot hang with the big boys here. Damaged engine right there, good gosh. And another BAR's been dropped though, which means that the Germans can now get some more firepower on the field. The Germans are trying to engage, charging on forwards. They're going to take some heavy fire from MG42 that's been captured. Rifle grenade goes out, does some good damage, but not able to take him out just yet. And here comes the next Tiga tank. P4, Stug, and Tiga should be more than enough to take on 2 Easy 8s and a Jackson. Damaged engine, that's one right there. Stug's going to come in and around, trying to even get in ahead of that Easy 8. Grenadiers going to be forced back and get taken out by a lucky pack howitzer strike. That thing has definitely been worth its weight in gold. 16 kills. Stug taking some very significant damage though, and like, twice his guys get taken out by unlucky rounds. 2 squads going down in about 30 seconds. In the meantime, the pack howitzer is just doing work. Yeah, then one bangs indeed. Trying to attack ground through the house, not able to successfully hit the Tiga tank. Grenadier, the last surviving Grenadier, is charging on forwards. He might be able to pick up this BAR, and if he does so, it'd be pretty darn good for him. He can't get this other one. It'd be kind of nice to get that one too, but, you know, beggars can't be choosers, I imagine, or scavengers can't be choosers. And I'm wondering, what is he going to try to limp towards now? And that's really the best way to talk about this. P4 is very much out of position. Not a good idea here. Packs are going to turn around and probably throw some rounds like crazy into him. And here comes the anti-tank rifle grenade, which of course will almost seems like automatically crit, which is just so frustrating from a German perspective. Jackson, in the meantime, throwing rounds into the Tiga. And I'm thinking this might be the thing that determines victory or death in this final minutes of the game here. 194 to 352. The Germans do have a 2-to-1 cap, but the Americans have the army size, and they frankly have the army comp for it. No officer surviving to the late game, and yeah, exactly, your pack guns are quite good. Unfortunate right there. These are the unsung heroes of the game. You see them doing wheelies right now, just kind of trying to show off over here. Now the Easy 8 backing up this MG42. Actually, this entire defensive position right here in the center part of the map is pretty darn good. And I'd be super happy if it wasn't the Germans getting their booties kicked here. But you know, man. Maybe Kpen is finally getting towards that frag bomb. If he does, he could take out this position in one fell swoop. But that would require a little bit of luck. Honestly, oh my gosh, if he was able to take out this one spot right here, that'd be amazing. Okay, we could definitely see this could be a make-or-break moment, my friends. Is he going to drop it? No, he's not. He's not doing it. Point's been captured by the Americans, 193 to 341. Tiga is kind of creeping on forwards. And the Americans don't know where the Tiga tank is. They know it now, but how about for you, my friend? Well, does not seem the Germans are looking to pull the last trigger. Again, even killing 50% of the real good targets here with one fragmentation bomb could tilt the entire game over in favor of the Germans. I kind of get the feeling we're waiting for that last final kind of alpha strike before the end of the game. We do see the one Easy 8 with full veterancy creeping on forwards. His backup coming on in as well. Tiga already taking a couple of rounds. And intelligently, both of those Pioneer squads back away. Now, the Grenadiers made a sterner things. They're trying to charge on forwards here, and here comes that mortar, excuse me, the fragmentation bomb. But I think it's too late here. Then again, I've been wrong before. One anti-tank gun gets taken out. Pretty good right there. And if we're able to take out this other MG42 gunner, it'd be perfect. But no, it's not going to happen. Instead, it looks like the Grenadier squad will go down. There's a sniper now on the field, a super late-game sniper, which seems foolish beyond all measure. But hey, you know what? He was able to spot for that mortar, for the fragmentation attack, so I can't be too nasty to him. Now, Tiga coming on in, another P4 being called in as well. But if one Tiga gets destroyed, that might be it for Kpen. He's got nothing else really left. 3 squads of Pioneers. Now, a very, very brave sniper who's got next to no experience here. In fact, he's got his first kill now. And a lucky mortar round seeing that anti-tank gun destroyed. Yeah, that mortar round was amazing. And that anti-tank, excuse me, that tank round was even better. Sniper goes down. And the P4 is angry. He's coming on forwards yet again, but not able to take out that anti-tank gun. Does he see him in return? He's going to in a second. Taking out another model on top of it. So the question is how many times he can decrew that anti-tank gun before it's just too late. So that second P4 is out. Now the infantry kind of suppressing aircraft. Oh my gosh, here comes the beginning of that last final fight. The kind of amazing death or glory charge. And this Stuka is not attacking anybody just yet, which is just unfortunate beyond all measure here. Anti-tank gun finally getting a round or two fired at him. And here it comes, finally coming in, so suppressing all that infantry. One Easy 8 going out over here to the eastern side, trying to go pressure that P4 that's moving in and around. Now, if I'm the Tiga tanks or the other P4, I need to get in right now. There goes one P4, he is down. And it looks like instead it's just going to be sniping like crazy over here. Maybe one or two more machine gun runs. As a Tiga should be attacking.
The capture point is under attack.
Okay, so that's...
We lost a gun crew.
Willie Pete round, Willie Pete barrage coming through, and that's going to do devastating damage to the combat engineers, the pioneers, excuse me. Especially if they don't back up right now, you can see them begin to melt. That entire squad's going to die, just watch. Tiga, in the meantime, charging on forwards, might be able to get enough damage off to make this worthwhile. Nope, there goes the Tiga tank, he goes down. P4, the only thing that's left. If he charges on forward, that's it. Kpen is just kind of basically calling it right here. And yep, Kpen has definitely half-sucked the mango in this one. So after a 50-minute marathon of a battle, he surrenders 119 to 341 with the USF winning by surrender. I think High Five could have made that end a lot quicker by investing either in much more infantry or at least one more tank and just blitzing the Germans in turn. Instead, he just kind of played a little bit passive, a little bit hazy, and I think he's still trying to figure out the new meta. But unsung hero of the game is Pack Howitzer right here, as well as this ability for the Willie Pete smoke barrage. Well played on both sides, definitely some missed opportunities, but all in all, decent match. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is going to be Con Ulrich signing off. You all have a great day. Take it easy.